welcome to another episode of The Women of Ouija.
Ouija. I'm Karen Dahlman.
And I'm Marla Martinson. Thanks for watching. We've got a viewer question today. Karen's going to ask the question for a beautiful viewer out there.
So this question comes to me just recently, and it says, I am wondering, can you use the Ouija board in your bedroom? And she talked about how her space is not that large in her house, and it just made sense to do it in her bedroom. And then I also thought, a second part of this question, which she didn't ask, but I'm going to state it, is where else can you use the Ouija board? Are there places where you shouldn't use the Ouija board? So why don't we start by answering this question first. Can you use the Ouija in your bedroom? So, this is what I'm going to say. Yes, you can. But I'm going to be a little hesitant here because you're asking that question and you're wondering, it tells me there's something else there that's lurking that you're not sure why you should do that. First of all, only use the Ouija board in the spaces where you're most comfortable. If you can get beyond that and you're not worried about using it in your bedroom, then you can use it in your bedroom. I've used the Ouija board many times in a bedroom. I was a young kid growing up at home. I just had a bedroom, and that's where I did the Ouija board. I used it a lot in college that way. And to this day, sometimes I do take the board into my room. I know Marla does too, and I'll use it there by myself, if it's by myself. And with a partner, sometimes typically I'm more in a living room or another area of the house. But yes, if you're comfortable, you can use the Ouija board in your bedroom. And I think probably underlying that is, will any, negative things stay? Listen, I do the board. I don't get negative things. You don't have to get negative things. And if you ever do, you just can put the board away and stop it. Yes. I don't believe in the myths that are out there that you're going to draw all this energy into the space. I think that's hogwash. It's not real. You're going to draw energy into the space of what your own energy is and what your own vibrations and thoughts are. You can create tulpas. You can create thought forms, and they're just as real to you, but you don't have to. It's what you choose to. Yes. So, yes. You can use the board in your room, but make sure you're comfortable when you use it. What's your take on all this, Marla?
Yeah, I do use it in the bedroom. Sometimes I'll just bring it in and I'll sit there and I'll put a pillow on my lap and I'll have some questions I want to ask because it's in the evening or whatever. And I get my angel mirth comes on, and I love working with Archangel Michael, and he is very strong and protective for me. So I call him if I'm taking a flight on a plane, if I'm going on vacation, I want him to protect our house. And every time I use the board, I will call him in and say, please protect this space and monitor only those entities, angels, beings of high vibration are allowed here. And then at the end, I also say, please, if anybody has gotten through, please escort them out and close this space and fill it with white light. And I say that, and I've never ever had a problem. Except I do in my book, The Buddha Made Me Do It. I talk about a lower energy that did come in, and that was in my bedroom at night in bed. But I don't think it had anything. It didn't have anything to do with my board. But I did have some lower hitchhikers attached, and I had them removed by my healer. But of course, this is, I didn't have my board in there or nothing. So I also agree, it's nothing's in the board or can be brought from that. So unless you're calling it in, like you said.
Yeah,
what you're
bottom line is there are lower vibrations out there, just like there are people that are nice and people that aren't so nice. You got lower vibratory forms of energies, and those can come to you without take the board out of the equation. Mm-hmm. If you're just messing around and being negative and calling upon that stuff, you can pull all kinds of hitchhikers or attachments or negative stuff to you. That's your choice. Yes. So it's really being clear again with yourself, your intentions, and how you want to use this tool. Mm-hmm. And if you want to use this tool productively in a way that's going to be beneficial to you and uplifting, then get those intentions in you first. State them out loud. You could write them down. I always state them out loud before I even start every session. And of course, I'm writing the stuff as well. Yeah. And then go from there. And then you can work this tool anywhere. You can work this. I mean, we've talked about places we've used the tool before. I've used it in a swimming pool, a swim bar. I've used it floating on a raft. I've used it in a park in the middle of the day.
Now, people bring up this a lot. What about a graveyard? People bring that one up.
Well, let me tell you what. When I was young and dumb, I was exploring all kinds of things. Yes, I went into the graveyard and I used the board. Okay. I did it quite a few times, and it was for the thrill of it. Yeah. So when I talk about these things in my books, I also give you tips and techniques. So things to try and things probably not to try. Nothing ever happened to me in that graveyard that was negative. I think it's because I was so built up already with my own protection, my own system of that it never was an issue. But yes, I would do the board in the graveyard, and I had some great experiences. It may be sacrilegious and blasphemous to some people,
right.
And people say, "Oh, you're going to disturb the dead." Well, the dead are not there; they've actually really left.
Yes.
There could be lingering souls. Most people when they die, at 95, 98, 99%, I'll even go that high to say they move on. 99.9%, I'm going to even go that high to say they move on into the other realms, the other places they need to go. Yes, sometimes there are those spirits that get stuck and stay earthbound, but there's multiple reasons. We can talk about that in another show.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the ones you might draw and pick up in places like that.
Yeah.
Again, where you're comfortable doing it is where you can use the board. That's what you got to stick to, and how you feel about it, how your intentions are. Truly, that is the channel, that is the vessel for bringing in these energies and channeling with this type of tool.
Yeah, and like we've spoken before, you can write the letters on a paper bag and use it anywhere. And I've sat in the airport waiting for a delayed flight and just pulled out a piece of paper and wrote some letters, and then used my finger to just talk to my guardian angel. So it was.
That's right. It works. Oh, I remember a time I was in San Diego, and my partner and I were in an atrium in the middle of a beautiful hotel. Pulled out the Ouija board, started using it. We didn't even care, and nobody really even noticed. It's like, who cares? What are they doing? These two old adults. But it's fine. I was comfortable. My partner was comfortable, and then so therefore it worked, and it worked very well.
All right, wonderful. Well, let us know, you guys, where you've used it and what your experiences have been.
That's right. Talk to you later.